So, a little while back, I talked about, like, my idea for a cartoon adaptation of the Marvel event Original Sin. So, also, I did have another idea, and I kind of pitched it to my friend, Jason Voorhees 2011, and we've collaborated before on doing adaptations of Marvel and DC stories, and we've done that in the past multiple times, and still do. And yeah, this was kind of an idea I pitched to him. I don't know if we'll ever get around to doing this, because we're both collectively pretty busy these days. So, this is pretty much my idea for a DC event that is actually still going on. And yeah, as you can see, yeah, Dark Knight's Metal. Now, for those who are unaware what Dark Knight's Metal is that Dark Knights is pretty much a story where all these different these evil Batman from multiple dark universes are being led by this guy called Barbados, and they're trying to destroy the DC universe. It's pretty out there. So, personally, I think it was just an excuse to get people to find new ways to cosplay as Batman. That's my working theory. Just for people to find new ways to cosplay as Batman. Because I guarantee you, there are probably several people by now who are looking at ideas to cosplay as the Bat Who Laughs or Dawnbreaker, the evil Green Lantern Batman, and so on and so forth. That's my working theory. Anyway. So, this was kind of I kind of got the idea from this, and this is kind of a cartoon adaptation of Dark Knight's Metal, which kind of takes the idea of multiple versions of an evil character, brings them into this universe, this shared cartoon superhero universe. And who's the villain? Who are the multiple versions of the hero in this story? Multiple versions of Danny Phantom. That's right, Danny Phantom is the main focus of this story, and pretty much what the working story idea is that what's going on is that Dan Phantom, Danny's evil future self, that was at the end of Ultimate Enemy, put into a ghost into a Fenton thermos and given to Clockwork to watch over, and now he's no longer part of that timeline. He's out of that timeline. But yeah, Dan Phantom has broken free of his prison. He's broken free of it, and rather than go attack Danny directly, he's like, nope, you know what? He's getting stronger, and in the timeline right now, I'm never going to be. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to go into the multiverse and find an army of evil me's, come back and kick his ass. Sounds good? It's good. Let's go. So Dan comes back with an army of evil versions of Danny Phantom. All these different versions from the multiverse that have converged, and now not only Danny and his family and his friends have to fight them, but all the other superheroes as well. They all have to battle these evil versions of Danny Phantom. That's kind of the story in a nutshell right there. I know there's more to Dark Knight's Metal, but this is just kind of like the basic of it. Anyway, so you're probably wondering, well, what kind of evil versions of Danny Phantom can you do? Well, glad you asked, because I thought of a few right out the gate for this. Starting off with the Ghost Who Laughs. The Ghost Who Laughs is obviously kind of a play on to the Bat Who Laughs, but he's a little different. The Ghost Who Laughs is a version of Danny that is basically his ghost powers work a lot differently. He can basically turn himself into any of your fears, and he feeds on it, and then he'll kill you. He basically fights using your own fears against you. He's pretty much a ghost version of Pennywise. That's pretty much the idea, is that he's pretty much Pennywise with ghost powers. Following that is the Skull Lord. The Skull Lord is probably my favorite of the evil Dannys I thought of. Skull Lord is pretty much, in this version, Danny is not the son of Jack. He is of Jack Fenton. He is actually the bastard son of Matty Fenton and King River from Star vs. the Forces of Evil. So in this one, he's half Mumin. And in here, the story is that King River and Queen Moon were going to Earth and more or less opening negotiations between that Earth and that version of Muni. While there, they met Matty Fenton, who pretty much was studying, was like a liaison for the government on paranormal activity, and her and King River kind of got very close. So, 9 months later, she gives birth to Danny, and Moon finds out and is like, no, fuck that, he is not eligible for the throne. He's not welcome. So, yeah. So, following that, not only that, Maddie leaves, rather than care for him, she actually gives this version of Danny to Toffee, to this universe's version of Toffee, whom he raises and trains to be his warrior. So, yeah. Danny then later on goes on to wage war under the identity of the Skull Lord to take control of the Mumin Kingdom. He actually, while he doesn't have ghost powers, he does know how to use dark magic. He does know how to harness dark magic, and he ends up killing the star of that universe, ruling Muni, and actually launching an attack on his Earth. So, there's the Skull Lord. That was probably my favorite of the group. Following that, we also have Iron Ghost. Iron Ghost is pretty much Danny Phantom, where instead of like ghost powers, it's a suit of armor that gives him ghost-like powers, and he uses them to kill people with. We've also got Red Phantom. Red Phantom is a version of Danny that grew up in Russia, and he was given his ghost powers to be the ultimate Soviet super soldier. In this one, in his Earth, the Soviet Union never really stopped and has actually conquered a lot of Europe and most of Asia in his universe. So, and he is the first of the new line of ghost soldiers. So there's Red Phantom for you. Who else? Who was another? Oh yeah, Ghost Slayer. Ghost Slayer is pretty much Danny Phantom, who got his powers not from a ghost portal or anything. He actually sold his soul and sold his friends' lives to Satan and got his powers and made him like this decrepit-looking, sunken-in, like death-like creature, more or less. So there was another one. There were so many. There were so many. I even what else was there? There was also. God, there were so many, like, guys, and we're probably, if Jason and I do this story, there's probably going to be a lot more ghosts to really, versions of Danny to really think of. So yeah, that was kind of the things that Dan launches, Dan Phantom, along with all these evil Dannys, attack our Earth, and the superheroes alongside Danny have to fight them, have to, defeat them before they destroy the universe, before they destroy that Earth. So, that was the whole thing. That's kind of the idea in a nutshell right there. So yeah, there you go, guys. I know it's not fully like Dark Knight's Metal, and I know the event's not over yet, but I kind of got the idea and I was like, that's not a bad idea, even though that comic is completely batshit insane. So, there you go, guys. Anyway, you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this? Do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.